What are the true cons of Hurricane, Utah? Yes, hurricane, not hurricane. Hurricane, Utah. In this video, we're going to talk about the pros and the cons, and we're going to be real about it. We want to make sure that if you move out here to St. George or Hurricane or some of the cities in the surrounding area, that you are moving to the right spot, because we know that there are pros and cons to everything, so that's why we want to give you the 411, right?
And also we want to make sure that we're not, like, you're not making the mistake of moving to the wrong spot, because I think that whatever you're looking for, you could find in Washington County. It's just that where within Washington County is the right spot for you.
Yeah, and Hurricane is an interesting city because for some people, it is exactly what they want. And then for other people, it does not fit their needs at all. It's a very interesting city from that perspective. So let's get started. So let's start out and just give a little bit of an overview of Hurricane, where it is, because for some people, so the location of Hurricane, for some people, this is what makes it the place to be, right? And then for other people, the location is the biggest con. It's a very interesting city from that perspective. Some people, it's exactly what they're looking for. It's the creme de la creme. It is what they want because of its location. And then other people, the location makes it a big con. So talk about it. So where is it in comparison to St. George, Utah, which is the more, famous city? More people think of Southern Utah.
More notable, yeah.
Yeah, they think of St. George, which is the most populated city as well.
Yeah, so Hurricane is just up the 15 freeway north of St. George. So St. George is the first city as you enter Utah, and then Hurricane is, a few miles up from there. So that's kind of where you are. So it's basically northeast of St. George. And basically, Hurricane is basically between, more or less, St. George and Zion, and actually it's between St. George and Cedar City. So you're it's just that bridge between those two cities there.
Yeah, and since Sean mentions Cedar City, Hurricane is an interesting comparison to Cedar City, because let's say you're looking for that more small town sort of charming life where it's not as crowded. Not that St. George has really any traffic, but if you want even less traffic,
yes.
You don't want to deal with the traffic of River Road that you get during, rush hour and that kind of stuff. You want the space, right? You want the ability to be outdoors in just this beautiful region that we live in. I would say that Hurricane is just that small town that you're looking for.
So before we continue, I'm Sean Dezad.
And I'm Courtney Dezad, and we are licensed real estate agents here in the state of Utah.
And if you're watching this channel, you might be thinking, wow, Sean, I love Washington County. I love Hurricane. I love St. George. I love the Red Rocks. I love the Majesty. I love all of it. I can't wait to move out here now. Well, the problem is that I'm not local and maybe even out of state, so I don't know what to do. And I totally get that. That's when to reach out to us, because we have a team that's worked over 40 years in this area. And so someone's always available for you. And we can be your boots on the ground. We can do virtual tours of not only the property, but also the neighborhood as well, really giving you a good feel of what you're looking at. So that way, when you do come out here, your time is spent super efficiently. So what you want to do is you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
But what makes Hurricane different than Cedar City, which is another small town, is that Hurricane is very close to St. George, which is a larger city. You have everything that you need on a day-to-day basis in St. George, whereas Cedar City is like a good 45 minutes to an hour away, and it's also much higher in elevation, so you're dealing with the winter there.
Yeah, I guess, and that's the thing, right? So as a general idea, if you're coming down here, you're probably wanting to escape the cold winters. I mean, that's we get calls from all over, and one of the major points that people want is, because obviously there's a lot of other places that you could be moving to. So if you want to actually have the mild winters, Cedar City is probably not going to be I think that Hurricane would be a better option. Than Cedar City, because Cedar City does legitimately get snow in the winters, actually a decent amount of snow.
It's kind of freezing there.
Yeah.
It's almost 6,000 feet in elevation. But back to Hurricane, I think the thing that people who are really honing in on Hurricane, they hone in on it because you have more space, you have more of that small town feel.
Yeah.
But you're also really close to St. George, depending on where you are, 20 to 30 minutes, depending on where you are.
Yeah, let's say Cedar, so the major shopping corridor in St. George, where you have all the big box stores, right? Like your Best Buys, your Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, Costco, that kind of stuff. That's about 20 or so, 20, obviously depending on where you are in Hurricane itself, but 20 to 30 or so minutes away, right? So you're not that far away. And Hurricane does have its own strip of actual shopping as well. So so you basically do have Lynn's Market, You have Smith's, you have Walmart, you have Ace Hardware, so in like restaurants and all that stuff too.
Yeah, you have a decent amount of restaurants, yeah. So it's not to say that like Hurricane, you have nothing there. Like, you know,
especially on a day-to-day.
Yeah, day-to-day basis, you know, you're taken care of. But, you know, sometimes, you know, if you're talking about where is the center of activity.
Like commerce.
Yeah, where's the center of the whole St. George community? It's in St. George, of course.
Or / Washington.
Yeah, so for some people, they think Hurricane's a little bit too far away because they want to be closer to the hustle and bustle, to the center of like where things are happening.
Yeah, but we know a lot of people don't. They want more space. They're coming out here because, you know, St. George, like if you're coming from, let's say, a metropolitan area, so St. George is definitely a step down as far as pace and density, population density from those areas. And then, but still, for a lot of people, they want really like they want to tone that down even more.
Yeah.
And so Hurricane isn't totally dead and sleepy. It's just that it's obviously a step down from St. George's activity. So for a lot of people, that actually is the perfect mix of how they want to conduct their day-to-day lives.
Yeah, like Sean's best friend, he's got property in Hurricane and Virgin, which is even farther away.
Even slower
Even
pace.
slower, yeah, because he doesn't want to be in the center. Like,
and
he
wants
does not.
more land, more space, you know, like he wants to basically look out like a mile away, see his next door neighbor.
Well, I don't know if most of Hurricane is like that. But yeah, and then do you want to talk about the price? Because you're not necessarily getting a discount being in Hurricane, because like we say, it's very desirable if that's exactly what you're wanting, you know?
Yeah, I would almost say, like, because a lot of Hurricane is being developed as we speak. So I'd say on a percentage basis, Hurricane has more new construction taking place. So usually with new construction, it's going to be more expensive than existing construction in general. And so what you do have, I would say for probably like for like, maybe it's slightly less than St. George, but not by much. But actually as a general whole, because Hurricane as a percentage has a higher amount of new construction, it's actually, at least on any given month, it could be actually a decent amount higher than St. George. And really a lot of that, when you're looking at that, you know, median home price activity and stuff like that, unfortunately, there's not a ton of data, like there's not a ton of homes selling, so a few things can really skew the prices one way or the other.
Yeah. So we were talking about, you know, why some people, they just really love its location in terms of it being just more space, bigger properties.
More out of the way.
It's closer to Zion. That's another thing. Like, that's another big reason why Sean's best friend really likes it out there, because he likes to go out there, you know, just do the fun things that you can do out there. But on the same time, you know, you are farther away from the hospital. And here in St. George, you know, we're kind of famous for having very good healthcare. You check lots of different lists like Wallet Hub, U.S. News and World Report. Utah is known for having really good healthcare. U.S. News and World Report ranks our particular hospital very, very highly in the whole state of
like
Utah.
Number 3, I think.
Yeah,
the latest
three or four. But out of 60 hospitals in the whole state. So, I mean, you know, if that's one of the reasons that you're coming to this region is because you know that it has good healthcare, just know that if you do choose Hurricane, you are going to be farther away.
Yeah, more like 30 minutes, give or take, from there.
Yeah, and then, like Sean was saying, you are self-contained in Hurricane. It's not like a tiny little town in the middle of nowhere, but there are certain items that you will have to come into St. George. So, yeah, you are farther away from, like, the major shopping, the major dining, that kind of stuff.
Obviously, again, for me, because there's no Costco in Hurricane itself, that pains me, right?
Yeah.
So that, but I mean, obviously, again, you're only like 20 or so minutes away, but again, that's Costco. Like, I go to Costco daily.
Not daily, but he does kind of go a lot.
Unnecessarily
He goes on a whim. I would say it's his happy place. So, you'd be like, let's just go to Costco, see what's there.
Oh, I know what we could do.
Yeah.
Costco.
Yeah, I think on his birthday, we always have to go to Costco. Just
okay, they can't complain about it, right? It's my birthday.
Yeah. But anyways, that's beside the point. So yeah, I mean, so for someone like Sean, Hurricane's a little bit too far out of the way. So
yeah, exactly.
Location can be a negative depending on who you are.
Yes.
So now let's talk about, obviously, a huge pro of Hurricane is just the beautiful outdoors. And there are a lot of just phenomenal golf courses in the Hurricane area. It's just got some great resorts, and it's got the 2 reservoirs too. I mean, you want to just talk about the fantastic outdoors that you have there?
Exactly. If you're looking to play and not just, you know, again, if you have an ATV, or if you wanted to actually go, you know, to the reservoir. So say this whole region, right, the southern Utah region, isn't known for big water feature type stuff, and that's just obviously not what we're known for. But we do have, like, actually within Hurricane itself, 2 major reservoirs where you can go boating, you can go water skiing, you can obviously swim in the lake. It's It's cold. I mean, we'll be real about it.
Yeah.
But honestly, on those hot summer days, it's very refreshing. But so you have Sand Hollow as well as you have Quail Creek. So you have two major reservoirs here, which again is nice because it is different for the area. Because we have Virgin River, which is true. It's just that it's not one of those things that people are doing a lot of activities in within itself.
Yeah. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about, this is talking about the whole region, right? Meaning the whole St. George region, including Hurricane, is that we have very, very hot summers, which is definitely a con. But in exchange for that, you get very beautiful, very mild winters.
Exactly. And that's, again, a lot of calls from people. They don't want to deal with the snow. They're over it. They're done with shoveling snow. I've never done it in my life. I don't want to do it. So that's why we're not in one of those places. So basically, one of our things that we want to make sure of as far as checking off the boxes was not having, to worry about snow and bundling up and all that stuff. I don't want to like bundle the kids up like Ralphie's brother in Christmas Story where they're totally bundled up, put in the car. Again, that just sounds like brutal. That's just to be brutal for me, basically. So what we do have is that we have very mild winters. You might get a light dusting of snow here and there, but basically that's mostly it. And obviously it's cooler, but you have year-round activities here, right? So you can do stuff all year round. And then obviously conversely on the summer, obviously it's a bit on the toasty side for sure. Particularly, I would say June, July, I would say.
July's the worst.
Yeah, July is
By
definitely,
far.
July you're going like, a lot of times above 110.
Yeah.
So like that, so it's toasty. But what you can do, people can plan around it. There are some areas out there where you have similarly hot summers, but it's just like, it's all day. Like there's no relief. Whereas at least here, the mornings are actually rather pleasant, and then where you get your activities in out of the way, and then obviously your evenings are reserved to be lounging by the pool.
Yeah, and then I would say, like, if you are in Hurricane, you are closer to Zion, which is always kind of cooler as well, because there's a lot of shade there. It's in a canyon. It is slightly higher in elevation, so even when we go out there and it's really hot, you actually don't really notice it.
Yeah.
You can just be out and about, and it's actually not that bad. So that is another option when you're in Hurricane. If it's super hot, just go to Zion, go to the canyon, and maybe, go there for a couple hours, and you get some outdoors, but you also get some relief.
And it is a dry heat, right? So we're not dealing with, 110 with humidity would be tough.
Brutal.
Tough.
Yeah.
But actually, because it's a dry heat, you're not getting that feels like, 125 or whatever. It's 110, it's 110.
Yeah, and then if you are moving out here with the family, you may be wondering about the schools in Hurricane. So Hurricane is still part of the Washington County School District. So pretty much anything that you could get in St. George, you can get it in Hurricane. So it's all part of the same district. It's just on a smaller scale. And I know, sometimes the schools, the students, if they're part of like a specific program, and then maybe the kids like meet a certain area, they might be meeting in St. George. So that can be a little bit inconvenient when you're having to travel back and forth. So
yeah, unfortunately, again, you're not like that far away. I just remember actually being like, I had to go to the DMV to register a car, and basically I was going, and the wait was like, it was just a bad day, and the wait was long. So I went to Hurricane, like put my name down.
Where the DMV is.
Yeah, drove back home to do a little quick, quick thing, and then drove back, and it was like, it's not that far away, really.
Yeah, it's not. It just feels farther away than it is because you do have to go through like this little patch of land where there's like nothing there. So it definitely feels farther, I would say. So a big pro of Hurricane is there's literally like almost no traffic out there unless there's some big event or something. Like I know whenever the Ironman comes here, then people in Hurricane, they kind of get a little angry because there's some roads that are blocked off. You can't get in, but that doesn't last for that long.
Yeah.
But unless there's some event that's happening, I mean, it's virtually no traffic at all.
Yeah, so again, if you're coming from a metropolitan area and you want to escape the hustle and bustle, certainly St. George is a step down from that. However, you still have some pockets where it backs up. Now, people complain about the traffic. It really isn't that bad if you're used to much worse.
Yeah.
But it is there. I mean, like you can see that there's some traffic sometimes. Whereas, like in Hurricane, it's even that much less. So it's one of those things like if you hate traffic, Hurricane's a fantastic option.
Yeah, for sure. And then another big pro of Hurricane is that there's a lot of new construction out there. We have done tours of the new construction, so subscribe to our channel, check out the videos that we've done showing the new construction tours. But you want to talk about just what it goes into purchasing new construction and everything that goes into that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, so when you're looking at new construction, a lot of times people will go directly to the builder because they just feel like, okay, it's kind of like a car dealer, right? Like you're just going directly to them. When it comes to a home, understand that it's a little bit different. it's highly recommended that you have a realtor like looking out for your best interest. You know, whether you're working with us or not, obviously we'd love to be helping you, representing you in a purchase. However, if it's not us, at least have some realtor out there to look through everything, look through the paperwork, making sure the property is in the condition that you're like expecting it to be in. Make sure you do your home inspection, because a lot of times things kind of get messed up. There might be some defects that the home inspector will come up with, and then you can actually, at least at that time, ask the builder to correct those mistakes, so that way you're good to go. Main thing is that you really want to have representation, and it doesn't cost you any extra to do it, because that's part of the builder's marketing budget, is to pay the commissions to the agent. So you're kind of covered from that perspective. And remember, we are licensed realtors here in the state of Utah. So as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us. And remember, our team has over 40 years of experience in the St. George area, so don't forget to call us.